All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Well, what is going on, Chip It Nation YouTube station? We are back with another edition of the NFL Sunday night. We got a quick hit video today. I got the shell of the stone over here for us. We're going to walk through this. We got the Vikings headed into the Big D to take on this Cowboys. Got a 48.5 point total. Got a 6-point spread, which in my opinion, I don't know why these Vikings are catching 6 points. Actually, I kind of do know why, because they have a quarterback by the name of J.J. McCarthy, who's not very good, but their defense sure is stout, as we saw last week against the Commanders. So let's break this all down. Do me a favor, hit your like, hit the subscribe button, and put your favorite captain in the chat below. It helps us out a ton over here to get that interaction going back and forth for me. Let's talk about captain spots. And to me, when I first look at the captain spots, the first thing I notice is that they're all pretty much very inexpensive. You got Dak, 15-6, CD coming off the concussion. Looks like he's going to play at 15. George Pickens, is he going to run his routes fast today at 14-7? And then on the other side, you got Jettas at 13-2 and JJ at 13-5. That's super low to me when we're used to seeing guys 17, 18, sometimes 19K in the captain spot. So to me, what that tells me is that we're going to be able to jam a lot of these guys in. And to be quite frank with you, there's not many guys on the Cowboys that I like. I think this game plays a lot closer than the spread would indicate. I think the general consensus is that this Cowboys team got better on defense with the acquisitions. And did they? Absolutely. With Quentin Williams joining the fray, the Logan Wilson from the Bengals, who doesn't even play that much, so I don't even know why they got him. But the good news for the Cowboys is that Trayvon Diggs will not play tonight in this game. That's a big upgrade for these Cowboys. That guy is burnt toast, so that's good that he's going to be on the sidelines and not giving up 70-yard bombs to Justin Jefferson tonight. So they did get an upgrade there by dodging that bullet for one more week. But my favorite captain on the Cowboys would be Dak. Reason being, we've seen what he's done all year, slinging that ball around, slinging it to Pickens, slinging it to Lamb, slinging it to some guy named Ryan Flournoy, slinging it to Jake Ferguson. So that's the way that they're going to win this game. It's not going to be jamming Javonte Williams into the line of scrimmage. I think that's a recipe for disaster. So it's going to be Dak spreading it around to his pass catchers that you see there. He would be my top captain for the Cowboys and in this game. The thing with not loving these receivers up top is this Minnesota defense, A, is very good. B is they don't give up many yards through the air. So I don't think we're going to see a Pickens or a Lamb ceiling type game, where they go 10 for 150 and 2 touchdowns. I think it's going to be more spread out, and that's why I like Dak and have Dak ahead of these Cowboys. Let's flip to the other side. I'm going to go to my second favorite captain on the entire slate. It's going to be Jettas, 13-2. We know what he can do. He's in a dome like he's accustomed to. This Cowboys secondary has just been brutal all season long. I think they've given up the second or third most passing yards throughout the entire season. Deron Bland, shell of his past, got lucky and had like 7 pick sixes one year, but outside of that, not been very good. I mentioned Diggs on the sideline. He's terrible as well. He's winded down his Dallas days. It's a must-win game for Dallas. With the Eagles losing on Monday night against the Chargers, they'll obviously know the balance of the Raiders game this afternoon. But I believe it's if the Cowboys win out and the Eagles have to lose one, I think it's one more game, maybe 2 more games, they would be the representative from the NFC East. So Cowboys are going to be giving it everything they got. But Justin Jefferson in a dome at 13-2, I just think that's underpriced for him to be, the 7th most expensive captain. And let's just be frank with each other. He's had a bad season this year. A lot of that is due to the quarterback play that he has had. Some guy named Max Brosmer was his quarterback in one game. But give me Jettas in the controlled environment to have a very big night in Sunday Night Football. He would be my second favorite captain. And then my third kind of my long shot, and it's kind of a brutal play, to be honest with you, but it is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, if you remember from those Packers days, for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, we know the exact reason. He loves going back to Dallas. He loves playing in Jerry's World, the former UTEP minor great Aaron Jones going back home, if you will, and he always seems to score 4 touchdowns when he's in this game. He's their best back. Excuse me. Mid sneeze there. He's their best back, in my opinion. He starts the game, and then they rotate like no other with Jordan Mason. He's actually cheaper than Jordan Mason tonight. Mason at 10.8. You get Aaron Jones all the way down at 9,300. And listen, I certainly understand the snap counts aren't there. 41% last game. That was kind of a blowout. That was more of an aberration. So if we could see somewhere around the 65% mark with Aaron Jones, I think he's in a smash spot tonight against this Dallas defense. They're bad, right? They got better with Quentin, like I talked about earlier, but they got gashed last week by Jahmyr Gibbs the last time they were on the field. No, Aaron Jones is nowhere near Jahmyr Gibbs level, but he does have that upside to where he could score 1, 2, possibly 3 touchdowns. Highly unlikely to happen, but it could. So Aaron would be my distant third favorite captain on the slate tonight. So just to recap that, I got Dak number 1, Jetta's number 2, Jones / McCarthy would be 3, 4, but those would be distant guys there. Let's move into some of the flex plays. We'll go position by position here on the stone. Obviously, I like Dak in the captain. Going to like him in the flex as well. JJ, I don't think JJ's the worst play tonight. He's had a rough year. I know it, but he did throw 3 touchdown passes last week, so maybe he's getting his groove back. 2 to Josh Oliver. I think the third one was to Hawk. 9K in the flex. I think that's good. Other thing I like, too, about JJ is that the Cowboys have given him the 4th most rushing yards to quarterbacks on the season. So do give me some JJ at 9K in the flex. Like I said, he'd be my 4th favorite captain. If I am going to captain JJ, I would want to at least, 1 pass catcher, probably 2, and probably would not correlate him with any of my running backs there. But, yeah, give me some JJ for sure and Dak on top of that. Moving into the running backs, Aaron Jones certainly in play for me at 6,200 in the flex, especially with Dak captains and or anybody else. I think I'm okay with Aaron Jones in the flex, even if you did have Jefferson up top, where Jefferson goes for 125 and 2, and Jones could still get 80 and 2 as well, and still need to be in the optimal. So I definitely like him. For whatever reason, I just can't get Javonte Williams out of my mind. I just don't think he's very good. I do think they play him a lot, and this Vikings defense, when they're fully healthy, they're top tier. We saw it last week. They were $3,300 on FanDuel. I said jam the Vikings defense in, and all they did is go and pitch a shutout. They got a very good defense. Van Ginkel's healthy. Jonathan Grenard healthy, that back end with Harrison Smith holding it down. Very good back there. So I'm out on Javonte Williams. When there's guys missing, we saw it, I don't know, week 2, week 3, week 4, against the Falcons. They got gashed on Sunday night, but they were missing some dudes. Then they got gashed across the pond, I believe, missing some dudes. So if they're missing dudes, they're susceptible to the run, fully healthy like we see here. It's going to be rough for Javonte, in my opinion. I'd even go back 2 weeks ago when they were healthy. They got after those Seahawks up in Seattle. If it wasn't for Max Brosmer, they would have done very well. But no Javonte. I'm full fade on Javonte tonight. Play at your own risk. Let's move to the receivers. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 1 on this slate for me. Love him tonight. Also love Jordan Addison, especially if you got McCarthy in the captain. Certainly don't hate that. And then Jalen Naylor, I don't think so at 3,000. Played 60% of the snaps last week, and that was a little different too. Like I said a minute ago, it was just such a blowout. What was it? I was actually at the game. I think it was Baltimore where he cut up and had a pretty good game against Baltimore. I think over a buck. So, good dart throw right in the tournament. I don't think I'll be getting there. RIP to the Adam Thielen Vikings career. Certainly won't be using him tonight because he's not on the team anymore. But yeah, it's those 3 for me, obviously, with Jefferson leading the way, Addison behind him, and then Jalen Naylor if you needed a if you needed a $3,000 punt, I don't think he's the worst. You make sure you're just building to the game script appropriately. Let's go over to the other side. Talked about CD, talked about George Pickens, two of the best wide receivers in the game. Pickens coming off the last game where depends on who you ask. Some people said he wasn't running hard. He was saying he was setting them up double team. The thing with CD is you can't the thing with George Pickens is you can't double him. You can't bracket him when you got CD on the other side. If you do that, CD is going to have a game. He should be back tonight, 10K for CD, 9-8 for Pickens. Both great receivers, but like I said, this Minnesota defense is just tough to they crack down on those wide receivers pretty good. I'm gonna have them both for sure. They're in the pool, but I'm gonna be a little bit lower on Pickens and Lamb tonight at that price tag. Flournoy coming off his career game. He's clearly the third receiver there at $4,800. If for some reason, CD or Pickens were to miss time even, he would slide in there, but I'm not going to be paying to see that in terms of, them getting hurt mid-game. I'm not going to pay to see that, but I think Flournoy's fine at 4.8. I'm just not going to chase that ceiling game that he had. And then Tolbert has kind of fallen by the wayside. Kevontae Turpin hasn't done much either. Let's see what he was playing last Thursday against the Lions. He actually played 52% of the snaps. That's pretty good. Don't know how many targets he got. Only mustered up 2 targets. Yeah, Flournoy had 13. So I think I'm out on Turpin. It would just be those 6 receivers, right? The top 3 for the Vikings, top 3 for the Cowboys. Nothing fancy there to me. I just want to keep the guys I know that are going to play, that I know are going to get targets. Let's talk tight ends now. Jake Ferguson, $6,600. I do like Jake Ferguson tonight. Jake Ferguson, clearly their wide receiver number 1, having a pretty good year, coming off a 7-target performance last game, 80% of the snaps. He's going to be out there a ton. I like the Vikings on the perimeter, maybe across the middle, maybe against the aging Harrison Smith. He can get the job done, but give me some Jake Ferguson for sure in this game tonight. And then Hawk's a tricky one at 4K. I love Hawk the player, right? Pre-ACL. I love Hawk. He's just been so bad this year in the sense that he just hasn't done much, when he's been out there. Freaking Josh Oliver catching 2 touchdown passes was so tilting if you had any Hawk. But playing 50 to 60% of the snaps, not getting many targets. But at 4K, once again, certainly viable in tournaments. But it's risky to go there because they just don't throw him the ball that much. Going to be there blocking a lot as well, especially against some of those pass rushers for Dallas. Let's move into kickers and defenses. And, nothing needs to be said about Brandon Aubrey, certified baller, can kick it from anywhere on the field. Like him tonight. Everybody's going to like him tonight. $5,400. We saw what he did. What game was that? I feel like it was might have been even last game when they were just like 60-yarder after 60-yarder. I think he had, 20 some odd DraftKings points. But yeah, he kick it from anywhere. He is $5,400. 23 DraftKings points last time, which is just insane on 5 field goals. Will Reichert is fine. I saw a little X video of him yesterday doing a little singing, trying to get to the Pro Bowl. Hey, can't hate on a man for that. Will Reichert's certainly fine as long as there's not wires flying across the field. I think Will Reichert is certainly fine tonight. I think the Vikings are going to be scoring more touchdowns than field goals, my own personal opinion. And at only $400 more, you're certainly going to want to pay up to get Aubrey for just $400 there. Let's talk about Cowboys defense. I am not interested in the Cowboys defense, even against turnover prone JJ McCarthy. They just haven't done it all season long. So I'm out on the Cowboys defense, but Manny Lee, $3,400 for this Vikings defense. I love them tonight, especially in this spot. I talked about it. My love for them. They got after the Seahawks 2 weeks ago. They put Jaden Daniels out of the game last week. When we got all 11 dudes flying around the football, Flores is one of the best DCs in the game, in my opinion. He's going to be drawing up schemes. He's going to be doing things, making George Pickens' head spin out there, not going to know what's going on. Dak's going to throw some picks. Dak's going to take some sacks. At $3,400, I think the Vikings are a great play on the defensive front tonight. That'll do it for me. I know I've done a lot of talking, but love Justin Jefferson tonight. Love Aaron Jones tonight. Dak would be my favorite overall captain. Then if you wanted to get freaky, Vikings defense and the flex is a great play in my opinion. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button on the way out. And that's Nades and I say every week, put the correct score in the chat below. Get a free week over here at the Nation. That'll do it for me, your boy Ham. Good luck tonight in your contest. And until next time, just ship it.